Hey, good morning, everybody. I just had to share a conversation that Kristen and I were having this morning after I dropped the kids off. And it's funny, every morning I drop the kids off. We spend time on a devotional from the Bible that's actually presented from the Bible app, and it's for kids. And we talk a little bit about Jesus, and then I probably squeeze in another lesson or two with them, and then drop them off. So I know, I probably wear them out by the time they hit the ground at school already, but it's important time for me to spend with them because, I want them to know that, we gotta get a little better every day. I was talking to Kristen about what I learned this morning in the book, The 5 Pillars of Wealth, and I'm on the mental wealth pillar, and it was particularly in the section about having a growth mindset, which I love to write about growth mindset, and I really enjoyed the way that Bloom wrote about it. And he said there was two types of mindsets. One's a fixed mindset, and one's a growth mindset. And the fixed mindset is you have what you have. You're not going to lose it. It assumes that you have ability, intelligence, and that you're going to perform better than most just with your natural raw ability. The growth mindset is a belief that you have the opportunity to go and create your own destiny, that your character and your mindset could actually produce success when, put to work. And they talked about a study that was super interesting. They looked at 400 kids over a 20-year period, and the children who were praised based on how smart they were, praised on their ability, praised on their intelligence, they actually performed worse than children who were praised for their effort, praised for their hustle, the risk taking, and just the pure desire to be better. So you actually perform better in the long run if you're a person that's effort based, not necessarily talent based. I mean, those of you that know my story, I mean, I tell it all the time. I think it was a gift from God. I wasn't the most talented in all that I did. I wasn't the smartest at school. I wasn't the best ball player growing up, but I was the hardest worker, or harder than most. And that produced opportunity for me because I was willing to go outwork other people. And ultimately, hard work and hustle became a part of my identity. That's paid rewards to me in my life. And it doesn't mean that I don't have talent. I know I have a God-given level of talent that, likely is more than most, at least in the areas of expertise that I have. But the hustle matters. It matters so much. Just tying this to maybe the talks and from the Bible that I have with my children. In Matthew chapter 25, there's a parable that talks about a master giving their servants a certain number of talents. And then there's an expectation that they go out over the next year and produce a return on those talents. The parable goes, that there was a servant given 5, a servant given 2, and a servant given 1. Well, the servant that was given 5 talents went out and doubled it. So came back with 10, and the master was extremely satisfied and said, well done, my faithful servant. The person that was given 2 talents went out and doubled that and came back with 4. And the master responded the exact same way, well done, my good and faithful servant. Well, the person that was given 1 talent went out and buried it and brought that one back a year later, and said, I didn't want to lose the talent you gave me, so I protected it and brought it back to you because I knew that that mattered to you, that I didn't lose it. And the master was not satisfied with that. I believe that the master would have been more satisfied if the servant took a risk and actually lost the one thing that he gave him. And I think that there's a beautiful message in this, that we are given gifts, we are given talents, and we are not to just sit on those talents. We are given those talents to steward and to go use them to produce more good in this world. Those of us that have more talents than others have more responsibility than others to go out and do bigger things for this world. And so don't sit on your talents. Don't let your kids be praised for just being smart. Make sure that they're praised for their work ethic. Make sure that they're pushed and that they know that hustle is a big part of success, and that you actually owe it to the world. When you've been given extraordinary gifts, you owe it to the world to go produce a big return on that so you can help as many people as possible. And Chris and I we're just sharing this with one another, and I think it's a good enough message that we all should pay attention to it and just push ourselves individually, but push our children. They are the future, and they need to know that hard work will make the world a better place. Gifts aren't to be wasted. We should steward those well, steward them for the world. So I love you. I hope this message resonates with some of you. If you want more of this, let me know.